Hello, hello, I'm the official narrator. My job is to look through the first page of Google, review the nicknames provided by the internet, and then give my recommendations at the end. Today, we're looking at Tirtuga and Carracosta, one of the two fossils of the Unova region. This one's a turtle. I always love themed things like this, and I think this would be like a very interesting, fun team because he filled out all the spots completely. Like, 4 turtles, Master Splinter, and then Shredder. So you could literally make a TMNT based team and try and play Pokemon with it, and tell me how well that goes for you, because I gotta be honest, it sounds kind of like a disaster, but you know what? That's the kind of stuff I think is fun about Pokemon. Fuck your stupid competitive, this one is uber tier, overused tier. You're a fucking twat and I hate you. Creativity like this is what interests me. Take something weird and non-conventional, then use it. But just acknowledging TMNT as a whole, any sort of thing like that, we see this all the fucking time for turtle-based Pokemon. It's expected. If you came to this episode and thought to yourself, you know what I don't expect to see? Crush from Finding Nemo. You're wrong. That's the thing I came into this episode expecting. So do I get it? Yes. Do I care for it as a nickname? I mean, not overly, but I understand it. Then we can go over these two together. Tsunami, generic water type nickname we see all the time, and then Blackbeard. No real significance to Carracosta, but I mean, the idea of it as a nickname or naming after a pirate is at least something different and interesting, I guess. There's probably better pirates you could choose. Squirt also being the other thing you probably should have expected to see. This guy literally doesn't even pay attention to what he does himself, which, in all fairness, I suppose there's probably examples where I don't either, but I at least don't think I do it in the exact same video. So let's go over things. Firstly, Turtank, literally just saw that on Pokemon.net a few minutes ago, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. I think that's probably a better choice for Blastoise, and I chose to just move on with it opposed to talk about it. It's nothing special. Marine, Aquamarine, don't care for. Sheldon, Shelly, those will always be, for the next million years, a terrible, stupid, unoriginal, uninspired nickname for any sort of turtle and or shell-based Pokemon. If you have named it that, or even your real-life turtles that, you should be ashamed of yourself. You should go find a lawyer and get that turtle's name legally changed right now. Shell Shock, because Shell Shocker from the Pokemon movie, if I had to guess. Or also just because Shell Shock is a common thing you see, you know, as a word in the English language, so nothing to say about that. Behemoth, nothing interesting. Shellster, no. Tortilla, combination of turtle and Godzilla. I thought it was a combination of turtle and tortilla, if you want me to be honest, so I would never have thought Godzilla in the slightest. Crush! We just talked about this. And then here's my favorite one right here. Hammer Slap. Check fact number 2 for reference. Fact number 2. Incredible draw strength enables them to chew steel beams and rocks along with their prey. Jet Fuel might not be able to melt steel beams, but a Carracosta can eat them. Now we know what happened 20 years ago. What he meant to say was, check fact number 3. Anyway, moving on. You know what? I'll just go ahead and acknowledge this one, because if I don't, I'm sure Chaotic will. So here you go. Here's your Zelda, your God Zelda, your Kaiju. There's Godzilla reference. Godzilla is a frequent thing we see a lot, mostly because of Chaotic. So strikes your fancy. There you go. I'm just gonna highlight this one for you. The suggestions for Tirtuga, Carracosta weren't interesting at all. But if you have the patience and you want another little spreadsheet you can look through. Here's one that I've seen before, but I've never actually sat down and looked through it, and I keep meaning to, but I always keep forgetting, and then it never gets to my attention. But it is very long. Oh god, what did I do? It goes down to Volcanion, 1320, if you're patient enough. Alright, so we've reached the bottom. We didn't find really much of anything. Pinterest is not relevant to this. What's a Carracosta? That was basically nothing, honestly. It's always fun when I go to a Slowpoke Tail and then it's like, here's a bunch of nothing because we couldn't find anything either. And I'm like, thanks, man. It's nice to know it's not just me. This was nothing. That's what's a Carracosta, and then that covers everything. So we didn't find shit. Last resort spreadsheet. Alright, I keep seeing this, but this one under a different name. It was like Arcolego or some shit. And it's like, oh, based off the thing it's, you know, using the name it's based off of. I'm like, that's not a good idea. I shouldn't have to mention that naming your Meowth cat is never going to be creative. It's never going to be a good idea. Sorry, move on. And then Kara. I don't know who that is. And then for comment suggestions, we basically just have Crush again, but also Slip and Slide, which I'm fine with the idea of Slip and Slide, honestly, as a nickname. I think this works especially well. I don't know if it can learn it because I never honestly used the move ever. If you give it Aqua Jet, I think that can help complement that name a little bit better. And I mean, it'll work well because Carracosta is slow as fuck. I've never honestly used it much at all because with a, you know, quad weakness to fucking grass, I feel like he's probably not going to be surviving too much. But I mean, on a Trick Room team, I suppose you could get some use out of him. I made Amistar work, so it's possible. But in other words, to summarize the video, Crush, Ninja Turtles, and that's pretty much it. So do you have anything that aren't those two? Consider putting it in the comments, considering helping this poor turtle bastard out. One thing I saw, which I believe was on that Reddit thread, was like something SWAT related, because his shell looks kind of like a SWAT vest. So, like, part of me honestly thought like Roman Reigns. It was just the first thing that came to mind. But there's a different direction you could go into if you wanted to take that route. But yeah, this guy, he's an open book. You can do whatever you want with him. We can try and get creative. I know it's hard these days, but I'm surely there's something out there for it. You know what? Here's other ideas for you, just because other fictional turtles. What was it? My brother used... He used Tip Tup the Torkoal. And I said that Tank Tup was best for Blastoise, so Tank Tup is still off limits. But Tip Tup is at least a fictional turtle that my mind can come up with, and it's like, oh hey, there's another idea for you. And I guess if you wanted to, you maybe could compare it to Blastoise and check out that video and see if that helps you anything. But I feel like the main defining characteristic of Blastoise is its guns, which this doesn't have, so it might not work. But I wish you luck. I wish all of us luck. I wish for nicknames in the comments below, and a thumbs up to the good ones, and to name this turtle guy something. He's had hundreds of years being unnamed. Name the bastard.